It's time to forgive and forget, and you'll be much happier because of it. Hello, and welcome to another edition of Shine 365, where our job is to help you lead a better life. Today we'll be reviewing an article on forgiveness by Scary Mama. Forgiveness quotes to help you forgive and forget by Team Scary Mama. Forgiveness can be hard, but holding on to hurt is even harder. Humans are emotional creatures, and when we feel wronged, pain and anger have us seeing red and looking for revenge. And we know that revenge never really helps. Open any history book and you'll know that's true. But any psychologist will tell you that revenge isn't quite all it's cracked up to be. Forgiveness is the high road, the one that we should take. It's the tenet and the foundation of major religions and culture. But what is forgiveness anyway? Is forgiveness public or private? Is forgiveness owed or is it earned? There's a reason why there are so many wise sayings about being a bigger person, about freeing oneself from the grip of anger and revenge seeking, and about forgiving, not just forgetting, lest we be made fools again by the perpetrator. If you're ready to start the healing process, forgive those who've wronged you. This list of quotes can help you get there. The first one is from the comedian Oscar Wilde, who says, "Always forgive your enemies. Nothing annoys them so much." Think about that. If you forgive your enemy, nothing annoys them more. Why? Because they're looking for a fight. They want a reaction. If you don't get upset, if you actually help them when they hurt you, they can no longer be mean to you. Why would they? If you're helping them, continually helping them, and they're hurting you, that doesn't work. Eventually, they will change their tune. The weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong, by Mahatma Gandhi. See, you have to be a strong individual to forgive. I would say you have to be the stronger individual to forgive. So forgiving is not a sign of weakness. Forgiveness is a sign of strength. Remember that when someone hurts you and you forgive them, that's not a sign of your weakness. That's a sign of your strength because you're above retaliating. You're above hurting someone else just because they hurt you. You're the stronger person. Forgiveness is not an occasional act. It is a constant attitude. Martin Luther King Jr. Martin Luther King Jr. was persecuted throughout his entire life, and he was assassinated. He was constantly being persecuted. He was constantly being ridiculed. He was constantly being talked down to. So for him, forgiveness is not an occasional act. It is a constant attitude. He had so many people that were against him. In order for him to function, he had to forgive them. Otherwise, he couldn't continue his life. Forgiveness is the fragrance that a violet sheds on the heel that has crushed it. Mark Twain. Resentment is like drinking poison and then hoping it will kill your enemies. If you hold resentment, it's only hurting yourself. It's not hurting your enemy. The person who mistreated you might not even be thinking about you. But if you're holding the resentment against that person, it's slowly eating away at you. It's not the other way around. Resentment and anger is only going to hurt you. When you forgive someone, that frees you from anger and pain and lets you continue your life. I've always found that mercy bears richer fruits than strict justice. Abraham Lincoln, one of the most important presidents in our time. To be a Christian means to forgive the inexcusable because God has forgiven the inexcusable in you. If you are forgiven, then you should forgive others as well. To err is human, to forgive is divine. Alexander Pope. To be wronged is nothing unless you continue to remember it. Confucius. If someone wrongs you, Maybe they've wronged you 5, 10 years ago. If you're still keeping that locked up inside, if that's still causing anger and resentment in you, it's only affecting you. It's only hurting you. It's not hurting the other person. You gain nothing by holding that anger inside. So let it out. Forgive the person. Maybe even go to that person and say, I felt you had wronged me at one point, but I forgive you. I don't hate you. I don't resent you. And then you'll have that freedom. You won't hold it inside. It's not going to hold you back. That negativity, it does nothing but hurt you. One should never do wrong in return, nor mistreat any man, no matter how one has been mistreated by him. Socrates, one of the most famous philosophers in the history of the world, said this. I'm going to repeat it. One should never do wrong in return, nor mistreat any man, no matter how one has been mistreated by him. Before we can forgive one another, we have to understand one another. Emma Goldman. Each one of us is more than the worst thing we've ever done. Sheryl Sandberg. And forgiveness is the one gift you don't give to others. Rather, it is the gift you give yourself so you can finally be free. Shannon Alder. Remember, there is only one perpetrator of evil on the planet, the human unconsciousness. And that realization is true forgiveness. With forgiveness, your victim identity dissolves and your true power emerges, the power of presence. Instead of blaming the darkness, you bring in the light. Eckhart Tolle. So instead of being the victim, you are rising above what happened and you are being a better person. And if someone is hurting you and you are helping them, over time, they will stop hurting you. Forgiveness says you are given another chance to make a new beginning. Desmond Tutu. All major religious traditions carry basically the same message. That is love, compassion, and forgiveness. The important thing is they should be part of our daily lives. Dalai Lama. Throughout life, people will make you mad. They will disrespect you, and they will treat you bad. Let God deal with the things they do, because hate in your heart will only consume you too. Will Smith. Forgotten is forgiven. F. Scott Fitzgerald. And lastly, it's not an easy journey to get to the place where you forgive people, but it's such a powerful place because it frees you. Tyler Perry. Think about it. When you forgive someone, when you let the anger and resentment out of your heart, you are freeing yourself to move on to bigger and better things. And that's so, so important. I hope you gained a new perspective from this podcast. I hope you'll take some of these quotes to heart. If you have any comments or other quotes you'd like to share, please leave them in the comments section. We look forward to reading them, and we look forward to seeing you next time on Shine 365.